The request the space station floated quietly above the moon of Varnes 4. From the outside, it looked peaceful. But inside, things were tense. Commander Rian Cross had seen many strange things in the galaxy. He had fought in wars, flown through asteroid storms, and even survived a black hole drift. But nothing had prepared him for what happened next. He was walking down the main corridor, heading toward the Ilari Council Chamber. His mission was simple: talk peace, avoid conflict, and return to Earth. He wore a clean uniform, kept his hands at his sides, and stayed alert. But then, she appeared. A small girl stepped into his path. Her skin was light blue, her hair silver like moonlight. Her eyes glowed softly, typical of the Ilari people. She was young, maybe 9 or 10 in human years. She looked scared, but determined. "Are you Commander Rian Cross?" she asked in a whisper. Rian paused. He glanced around. The guards were far behind. No one else was near. "I am," he said. "What's wrong?" The girl stepped closer and held his hand tightly. Her skin was cold. "Please," she said, looking up at him, "you must marry my mother." Rian blinked. "What?" "You must. Choose her. If you don't, they'll kill us both." Rian crouched down. "Slow down? Who are you? What's your name?" "My name is Lyra," she said. "My mother's name is Kaylin. She used to be a protector, one of the best. But now they want her dead. And me too." Rian had heard of protectors like Ilari warriors, enhanced by genetics and tech. Loyal, deadly, and rare. They were used in ancient wars, then disbanded. When peace treaties were made, no one uses protectors anymore, Rian said gently. "The war's over. Not for us," Lyra replied. "The Dominion sent ships. They're nearby. We don't have time. But if you bond with or marry her under Ilari law, they can't touch us." Rian stood, heart beating fast. "Why?" "Me? Because you're human, and because you're respected. They won't challenge a human warrior." "I'm not a warrior anymore," Rian said. "I'm a diplomat." She looked into his eyes. "But you still protect people, don't you?" Those words hit something inside him. A memory rose: his sister, dying on a burning colony. He had promised never to let someone die in front of him again. "Where is your mother?" he asked. "Follow me." Rian followed Lyra through the lower corridors. The deeper they went, the colder the air became. The lights were dim. This part of the station was unused, left from older days. Finally, they reached a sealed chamber. Lyra pressed her small hand against the door panel. It slid open with a soft hiss. Inside stood a tall figure. Her armor was matte black, scratched from battles long past. Her posture was straight. Her face was calm, but her eyes sharp and focused watched Rian closely. This was Kaylin. She was beautiful, in a strong and quiet way. One long scar crossed her right cheek. Her body looked like it had been built for speed and strength. But she didn't move like a machine. She moved like a warrior who had seen too much. "You are the Terran commander?" Kaylin asked. "I am Rian Cross." "I did not expect a human to come," she said. "But I hoped." Rian looked between her and the child. "Your daughter says I must marry you for your protection." Kaylin nodded once. "It is our last chance. The Dominion fears humans. They will not attack what they see as yours." "Why are they after you?" Kellen's jaw tightened. "I broke the bond. I was once assigned to a high official. He hurt others. I refused to obey. I ran. I took my daughter. That was 5 cycles ago. Since then, we hide. And now they found you." "Yes," she said, "and they are coming." Rian looked at the two of them, a girl with hope in her eyes, a mother with strength in her silence. He didn't know the customs. He didn't know the full risk, But he knew one thing he couldn't. Walk away. Not this time. He took a slow breath. What does this bond involve? Kalen looked at him. It is more than a promise. It is a joining of trust. If we do it, I will protect you with my life, and you must do the same. Rian nodded. Outside, the station trembled. A warning alarm began to echo through the halls. They were already here. Asterisk. The warrior mother. The lights of the space station dimmed as the outer scanners picked up incoming ships. Rian heard the low warning tone in the air, 3 short beeps. It wasn't a full-scale attack signal. Not yet, but it was close. Kalen stood still, her hand resting on the hilt of a blade hanging across her back. It wasn't standard tech. It looked handmade, ancient, like something passed down, not issued. There, scanning the station, she said quietly, looking for me. How long until they come inside? Rian asked. They'll try to get in quietly. Assassins move before soldiers. Lyra gripped her mother's leg. Her voice shook. What do we do? Kalen looked down at her. You hide in the ventilation chamber, like we practiced. Lyra looked at Rian. Will you come too? No, Kalen said firmly. He stays with me. Lyra hesitated. Then she turned and crawled into the side vent. The panel closed behind her with a soft click. Rian stepped closer to Kalen. You're not planning to run? I never run, she replied. Then, without warning, she moved. She turned to a locked case on the wall and opened it with a palm. Scan. Inside were weapons, strange ones. A curved energy blade. A short rifle with 2 barrels. Throwing discs that shimmered blue. She equipped herself fast. No wasted movements. Rian watched with both awe and concern. You are really a protector? He asked. Kalen didn't look up. I was the last of my unit. We guarded the Dominion elite. Until we saw what they truly were. And you rebelled? We refused to kill children, she said. That's all it took. Rian was silent. Kalen finally turned to face him. You don't have to bond with me. I won't force it. But once they come, there is no second chance. Before Rian could answer, the lights went completely out. Total darkness. Then, footsteps. Quiet, fast, precise. They're inside. Kalen whispered. Rian barely had time to react before she moved again. She grabbed his arm and pulled him to the far wall, where she pressed a hidden pedal. A metal shield slid out, covering them. Stay low. Don't speak, she said. The door burst open with a blast of pressurized air. 3 shapes entered. Slender, cloaked in black. Their armor absorbed sound. No words, no signals, just movement. Assassins. Kalen stepped out before Rian could stop her. She didn't use her guns. She used her body. The first assassin lunged, silent and deadly. Kalen ducked under the strike and slammed her elbow into the attacker's neck. A sickening crack echoed. A second pulled a blade, only to have it sliced in half by Kellen's energy blade. Her movements were fast, clean, brutal. The third fired a shot toward Rian. Kalen threw herself in the way. The blast hit her side, but her armor held. She landed on one knee, gasping but still alive. Rian stood in shock. She had just taken a hit. For him, the last assassin turned to flee, realizing the fight was lost. Kalen didn't let him escape. She hurled one of the blue throwing discs. It spun silently, then sliced through the air and struck the assassin's spine. Silence returned. 3 bodies on the floor. Kalen leaned against the wall, breathing hard. Blood dripped from under her armor. You're hurt, Rian said, stepping forward. It's nothing. Doesn't look like nothing. She looked up at him. This is what I was made for, to protect. And you protected me, Rian said. Even without the bond, Kellen's voice softened. I protect what matters. The shield wall retracted. Lyra crawled out from the vent, eyes wide. Are you okay? She asked. Kalen nodded. I am. Rian looked at the two of them. Mother and daughter. Warrior and child. They were running, alone, hunted, but still standing, still fighting. Kalen turned to him once more. Now you've seen what's coming. This was just a scout team. The next wave will be worse. And you still want to bond? Kalen nodded. If I die without passing on my memory, my code, everything I am dies with me. If we bond, you will carry it. And I will carry your will. Rian didn't speak right away. Then he stepped forward. Then show me how. The assassin fleet, the body of the last assassin, hadn't even cooled when the station trembled. A deep, low hum vibrated through the metal floor. It was the kind of sound no one wanted to hear in space. The kind that meant ships many ships had. Arrived, Rian turned toward the control panel. Tapping quickly, the screen flickered to life, showing a real-time scan of the surrounding space. 6 Dominion vessels hovered just outside the station's shield range. They were small, black, and silent stealth cruisers. Each one was loaded with drop pods, cloaked infiltration teams, and ion cannons. They weren't here to talk. They've come to finish what the assassins couldn't, Kalen said, her voice flat. Lyra clutched her mother's leg. What now? Kalen looked at Rian. You asked how the bond works. It starts now or not at all. He nodded. I'm ready. Kalen opened a small metal case from her belt. Inside was a thin silver strand barely visible. This is called the Thread of Will. It links minds during the ritual. If you accept it, I'll be able to protect you, not just with weapons, but with instinct. We'll think as one. Rian stared at it. Will I still be me? Yes, she said, but you'll also be more. He took a breath and nodded. Elen stepped forward, pressed the thread gently against his temple, then placed the other end to her own. The strand melted into their skin, vanishing like light. Rian felt a pulse. Suddenly, the world opened. He wasn't just seeing Kalen, he was inside her mind. He saw her training as a child, her first kill, her last breath before she ran from the Dominion. He saw her holding Lyra for the first time. He felt her fear, her rage, her love. And she felt in she saw the battlefield he never speaks of. The little sister he couldn't save. The time he almost gave up on life altogether. She felt the weight of it all, and didn't look away. Their eyes opened at the same time. The bond was complete. The lights flickered red. Emergency systems activated. They've begun the override, Rian said. They're trying to break the shield gate. We won't let them, Kalen said, already moving. They ran toward the command deck, taking back paths through the station. As they moved, Rian noticed something strange. He could feel Kellen's thoughts. Not as words, but as impressions, directions, warnings. Even her battle strategy played out in his mind like instinct. Behind us. She called, but Rian was already turning. Her thought had reached him before her words. He fired once. Clean shot. The cloaked scout fell backward, stunned. Ele, and raised an eyebrow. You're adapting quickly. We're not alone in here anymore, he replied. They reached the deck. The shield generator was already under attack. Systems showed viral infiltration, a digital worm chewing through the firewall. They're using Dominion code, Kalen said. They want to open the hangar so they can send in troops. Rian thought fast. Then we shut down the station's core, manually. Doing that will also stop life support. We're not planning to live here anymore, are we? Kalen gave a faint smile. No, we're not. They moved together smooth, fast. No hesitation. Where she moved, he followed. Where he aimed. She covered. It was as if they had trained together for years. But it had only been minutes. They reached the core. Kalen removed a small blade and sliced through a panel-old tech from the war years. Dominion made. "I remember this system," she said. "I helped install it. Now I destroy it." Rian pulled the emergency lever. Power dropped. Lights died. Engines halted. All around them. Dominion troops preparing to board were thrown into chaos. The hangar doors froze. The digital virus stalled. Station went dark, completely dark, but silent. Safe. For now. Kalen exhaled slowly. "They'll come anyway. Breach manually. And when they do?" She looked at him, eyes calm. "We'll be waiting." Lyra's voice came through a private comm line. "Mom? Rian? Are you safe?" "We are," Kalen said. "But not for long." Rian stared out the observation glass. 6 Dominion ships. Armed. Angry. "I hope Earth gets our message," he muttered. Kalen turned to him. "Do they know what you just did?" "No." "Then the galaxy is about to learn what happens when a human bonds with a protector." The bond ritual. The station was dark. Only backup lights flickered faintly along the floor. Pipes hissed. As systems shut down one by one, silence pressed in like cold air, heavy and still. But inside the heart of the control chamber, Rian and Kalen stood in perfect stillness, connected. Rian could feel her now, fully, not just thoughts, emotions, wounds, fears. Her past was opening like a book with no pages missing, and he knew. Kalen wasn't just trained to protect. She was trained to obey. To sacrifice. To die without question. But she had broken that rule for a child, for love. Now she was doing something even greater, sharing her code, her identity, her deepest self. That had never been done with a human before. Kalen spoke softly. "The bond is only half complete. What we did before was connection. What comes next is truth." Rian frowned. "What do you mean?" Kalen reached into her armor and pulled out a silver vial. "This holds the seed matrix," she said. "A living strand of who I am. It's not just memory. It's legacy." She opened the vial and let the strand float toward Rian. It shimmered in the dark. Like liquid light. He hesitated. "Will it hurt?" he asked. Kalen shook her head. "Not like pain. But it will show you everything. Even what I've hidden from myself." Rian let the strand touch his chest. The moment it made contact, he gasped. He wasn't on the station anymore. He was standing inside a wide battlefield, gray skies, cracked ground, and fallen soldiers everywhere. A city burned in the distance, and there she was, Kalen, but younger, wearing bright Dominion colors. Surrounded by other protectors, they were forcing children into cages. And Kalen hesitated. That hesitation had cost her everything. "I broke my oath," her voice echoed around him. "No," Rian replied. "You found your soul." The scene shifted. Now Rian saw Earth, a meeting room. 3 humans in black uniforms were watching a hologram of Kellen's fight. One of them whispered, "She's too dangerous, but also too loyal." Another added, "She has Earth's tech. Inside her, we can't let her fall into enemy hands." Then came the final words, "Shut her down." Kalen had never known that part. And now she saw it too. She trembled. "They wanted to kill me," she whispered. Rian reached out in the vision. "You were one of us, but we abandoned you." Kellen's mental walls cracked. She saw it clearly now. Earth and Dominion had once worked together to build protectors. But Earth had walked away, erased the records, and left the protectors behind. Kalen had survived, alone. Until now. The vision ended. Back in the chamber, Kalen dropped to her knees. "I was just a tool to them," she said quietly. "Not to me," Rian said. "Not to Lyra. Not anymore." He knelt beside her. You are not property. You are not a code. You're a mother, a warrior. And now, my bondmate. Kaylin looked at him. In her eyes was something that hadn't been there before. Freedom. The bond flared to life, their minds aligned completely. No secrets, no limits. Rian suddenly saw blueprints, hidden weapons, internal strength levels, tactical maps Kaylin had memorized years ago. Kaylin saw human resilience, his stubborn heart, his pain, his ability to laugh after loss. Their bond wasn't just protection anymore. It was fusion. Outside, alarms blared again. A new signal. They've landed, Kaylin said. They're coming in by force. Rian stood. Then let's show them what happens when a protector and a human fight as one. Kaylin smiled for the first time. I thought I was built for war, she said. But now I think I was built for this. The hidden memory. The Dominion soldiers had breached the lower levels. Rian and Kaylin could hear them moving fast, efficient and deadly. But the two didn't panic. They were already steps ahead. The bond had changed everything. Kaylin no longer fought alone. Rian no longer thought like a diplomat. Their minds worked together, seeing angles, exits, and threats in perfect sync. They moved through the shadows like a ghost with two hearts. Lyra was hidden deep in the cryo-storage vault, protected by old security protocols Kaylin had personally installed. For now, she was safe. But the real battle was just beginning. As they reached the main server room, Kaylin paused. Her head tilted. Something was wrong. I'm remembering things I never saw, she said. Rian frowned. What do you mean? I think our bond unlocked something buried. She stepped toward an access port and placed her palm on it. The lights around the console turned green, then gold. Gold access? Rian asked. That's Earth's old military code. Kellen's voice turned cold. Then this memory was meant to stay hidden. The screen lit up. A file, open marked Project Shieldheart. Inside was video. Old, grainy footage showed a secret Earth lab. In it, human scientists stood with several Ilari protectors, including Kaylin, though much younger. A voice echoed from the footage. The Earth Dominion Protector Program will end today. All prototypes not returned for deactivation will be marked rogue. Initiate memory locks. Seal protocol logs. Kaylin leaned forward, eyes wide. They erased our minds. Rian's jaw tightened. You were designed to forget who built you. But Earth helped make us, she whispered. And when things got political, they buried us. The final log played. Only one unit shows signs of emotional deviation. Kaylin 07. She formed a maternal bond with a test subject. This could disrupt neural obedience. Recommend immediate disposal. Kaylin closed her eyes. That child was Lyra. Rian's stomach turned. So they didn't just want you dead for breaking the oath. They wanted to erase you for loving your daughter. Kaylin turned away, her fists shaking. Everything I believed, it was built on lies. Rian stepped forward and placed his hand on her shoulder. You didn't become human because of code. You became human because you chose to care. That's what makes you different. Kaylin looked at him. Her voice was low but steady. And let me make one more choice. She turned back to the console and placed both hands on the pad. What are you doing? Rian asked. Accessing the hidden data node, she said. If Earth created me, maybe they left behind something I can still use. The screen flashed. A dormant system lit up. Earth AI, Guardian Class. Status, inactive location. Station core, locked vault. Kellen's eyes narrowed. It's still here, buried deep inside this station. Rian stared. An Earth Guardian? Those A's were designed to control entire fleets. And it was shut down before the war ended. That means no one else knows it's still alive. Kalen looked at him. If we wake it up, it might obey me. Because of the bond? No, because I carry the master code. Another alert. Flashed. Dominion squads 5 minutes from Station Core. Rian nodded. Then we move. Now. Kalen placed the memory logs into a secured drive and handed it to Rian. If I don't make it, you will, Rian cut in. We both will. Together, they ran, not just to survive, but to wake something the galaxy thought was lost, something older than this war, something human. Asterisk. The choice that changed the galaxy the Dominion soldiers were almost at the station core. Kalen and Rian reached. The vault chamber, an old blast-sealed room beneath the reactor. Thick walls, heavy doors, no lights inside. But something inside still pulsed. The Guardian. An Earth-made AI, long forgotten, left sleeping beneath the bones of peace talks and broken alliances. Kalen placed her hand on the center panel. The DNA scanner lit up. Identity match. Kalen 07. Code clearance recognized. Welcome, Protector. A deep voice echoed from the walls. The vault door slowly opened. Inside stood a black sphere, floating silently. It was smooth, polished, and humming with low energy. Tiny lights flickered across its surface, like a heart beginning to beat. This is it, Kalen said softly. The last Guardian. Rian stepped forward. Can it fight? It was built to lead a fleet or burn one. Kalen took a deep breath. Guardian, awaken. The sphere glowed brightly. Protocol unlocked. Orders required. Kalen hesitated. Rian looked at her. We destroy them, right? But Kalen said nothing for a moment. Her eyes drifted to Lyra's face in her memory. Then to Rian's calm, steady human. And something in her changed. No, she said. I don't want destruction. Not unless there's no other way. She stepped closer. Guardian, disable Dominion vessels' weapons. Freeze their engines. And transmit everything. Transmit what? Kalen uploaded the sealed memory logs, the footage showing Earth's role in creating protectors, and the Dominion's betrayal of them. Send it to the Galactic Council. To every system that still listens. The Guardian paused, then answered. Transmission complete. Memory leak initiated. Truth unlocked. Rian blinked. You just exposed both sides. Kalen nodded. If I destroy them, they'll say I was a weapon. But if I show them who I really am, they'll know I made a choice. Above them, the Dominion ships powered down. Every turret, every engine stopped. The soldiers inside the station received an emergency. Recall signal. Confused. Disarmed. Powerless. The war ended without a single shot. 1 week later, the Galactic Council held a public hearing. Kalen stood beside Rian, wearing no armor, only a simple robe. Lyra clung to her side, no longer afraid. Ambassadors from dozens of species had watched the transmission. They had seen Kellen's training, her refusal to harm children, her love for her daughter, and Earth's quiet betrayal. But they had also seen Rian's choice, a human who didn't run, who didn't erase the truth. The Alari delegation stood and spoke first. We request a formal alliance between Earth and the free Alari, the elder said. And we recognize Kalen not as a weapon, but as a leader. Cheers followed. Rian turned to Kalen. How do you feel? She smiled, something soft, real, like I've finally stopped running. Lyra looked up at Rian. So, are you really my new dad? Rian smiled. If your mother agrees. Kalen took his hand. We protect each other now. As one. And so, the galaxy changed not through fire or war, but through a choice. The choice to trust, not to bond, not to forgive, not to tell the truth. even when it hurts. The name Kalen became a symbol not of fear, but of strength with Heart Dot and Earth. Earth listened this time, because when a human and a protector stood together, no empire dared stand against them. Asterisk.